All right, we'll get the town of Sullivan and ZBA under action here. So the first public hearing before the ZBA on Thursday, April 13th, will consider the application of Kenneth Starzynicki, SBL 9.25-1-12 for property located at 1239 Palmer Road for an area variance. The above application is open to inspection. Persons wishing to bear as such here may do so by person or attorney. Kenneth, are you here?
I'm representing Kenneth.
Okay, your brother was that
His
here?
brother.
Okay, we've got maps and you can just refresh us what he's planning on doing?
He's basically rebuilding existing garage and to clean up the area. He wants to be able to do some indoor storage and be able to slide a boat in there when it's not used. And that extended position will give him that ability to do that.
So it's not like putting on new construction on the back of a very old garage.
No, he's basically
taking down the old garage and then on the same footprint, but adding 12 feet back.
That is correct.
Okay. Single story?
Single story.
A-frame roof?
I think he's sick of storage and A-frame, not, yes, A-frame,
A-frame.
just
Not a gable.
not a gable.
Okay.
What's he looking to do on lot 17?
No.
Oh, okay,
It's not
that's
his.
talking, okay.
Hopefully nothing. We gotta know where you live.
So the dotted lines, I believe, is what he owns.
Okay.
Yeah, that's just a note. Reminder that we're always being taken.
And the house is on the other side of the road?
That is correct.
Does the board have any other questions?
So my only other question is the variance that's needed is the side setback?
Correct.
Right, but is that what the 4.9 is? Is the 4.9 indicating that that's the side setback of the corner of the existing garage?
Correct.
So it would be a little bit tighter than that because it's not quite parallel.
Well, we can have him adjust that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
We're gonna try to maintain the around 5 feet.
Okay.
You'll notice, still have enough clearance on the back of the lot. So.
Yep.
Is there anybody here to speak for or against this application? If so, please state your name and concern. No other questions, board? All right, I will close this public hearing. We're gonna discuss it later tonight and probably make a decision. Your brother can call the office, or you can hang around and hear our discussion if you have nothing else exciting going on tonight, you know.
You guys are a hell of a party.
Okay. Am I correct in thinking that because he's taking the initial one down and because he's gonna be squaring it off, he might actually be able to be a little bit further from the property line than the 4.9 in that corner right now?
I wasn't under the assumption he was actually taking down the existing barn,
Yes, complete reconstruction
of the barn plus the addition?
of the entire garage.
Okay.
So he's gonna level what's there and start fresh from the ground up?
I believe his intention were to stick with the foundation that was there and carry
Right.
it.
Oh, okay.
But is the foundation wide enough that he'd be able to? I'm not saying get it great, but I'm saying in theory, he might actually be further from the property line than he is now if you squared the thing off to the 5 feet at the front.
Yes, we could try to squeeze that out.
Cause I mean, you can do the math, I mean, in 30 feet, he lost 2 inches, so
Right.
in 12 feet, about a third of that, he's gonna lose a third of an inch, you know? So if you give him 4.5. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
public hearing before the ZBA of the town of Sullivan be held Thursday, April 13th, for the application of Robert Dickinson, SBL 9.12-1-2 for property located at 1376 Route 31 for an area variance. The above application is open for inspection at the town of Sullivan office building during regular business hours. Persons wishing to appear at such a hearing may do so by person or attorney. Robert? All right. Want to come up here and refresh us what you're planning to do in there?
So the back side of my house, not the side, just the back, I wanna bring it out 12 feet farther back, which I have plenty of land behind me, so it's not crossing anything behind me. The only problem is I am 13 feet from the house that sits, is 13 feet from the property line, not 15. So it's 2 feet, 2 feet. I wanna make it everything flush on the sides.
Yeah.
I'm not going farther this way, I'm staying right here, just going
Right,
up
you wanna-
backwards. I don't want to just square off the front of my house to be even, make a screened in area, to be even with the part that sticks out. Because my house is an L shape, so I wanted to square up the front so it didn't look like an L.
But you said currently, how far are you from the side?
13.
13.
Is he ag, M or 12 or business?
Okay,
Right on 31?
yeah, he's on the south side of the road. Or,
South side.
He's on the south side.
Says ag on this, not that it means anything.
Everything over there is agriculture. Underground street somewhere in the property too.
So it's the special purpose taken on the LR 40? Is why it's a 15 and a 30?
Correct. That's my interpretation.
Is it special purpose because it's abutting Route 31? Or it'd be special purpose no matter where he is, or special permit?
Well, it's an agricultural zone with a residence on it.
Goes to
The
SP.
way I interpret our zoning schedule is, you've got a single family home pre-existing in an ag district, then you are automatically in LR 40 restricted property.
Okay. Thank you for articulating that very clearly.
Closed classes.
Sweet. I'll say that.
Okay, any other questions from the board?
What's the total relief that's being sought?
2 feet.
2 feet of relief?
2 feet. 2 feet. 13 feet from the property line right now.
And you're supposed to be 15,
Correct.
so you need 2 feet of relief.
I don't think there's anybody here to speak for or against this application. Therefore, I close this public hearing. We're going to discuss this in a little while. You're more than welcome to hang around, or you can call in the morning and get the results, okay?
I'll sit down.
Okay, that ends it for the public hearings. We want to discuss these two or open up the one table from last month first? Any preferences here? Let's get these two done first.
Okay.
They're fresh in our mind. And which one do you have?
I have Kenneth Zarnicki, so I
Okay.
said, whether the undesirable change would be produced in the character of the neighborhood, this is one on Palmer, where they wanna take down the garage brook one. I said, no, the remodeled structure will be an improvement, the variance will be less than the existing nonconformity. Whether the benefit sought could be achieved by a feasible alternative, I said no. The existing driveway cut, driveway, and foundation slab would need to be moved, a significant cost. Whether the requested variance is substantial, I said yes. Proportionally, a relief of 3 feet 3 inches on an 8-foot requirement is substantial, but it's not a determining factor. Number 4, would the variance have an adverse impact on the physical and environmental conditions in the neighborhood? Said no. The new building will improve the image of the neighborhood, and it will not affect the safety of the roadway or the lake vistas of the neighbors. Whether the alleged difficulty was self-created. Do we have anything on whether or not this pre-existed the code? The garage pre-existed the code, right?
Yes.
So it's not self-created. Do we have to say that it's self-created, Rich, if they're extending a non-conformity and that's why it's requiring a variance? Because they wouldn't need a variance if they were staying in the footprint. So does that mean
Right.
it's self-created?
Yeah, I mean, typically in this situation, it is, I mean, they're aware of the zoning code, they're,
Okay,
you know, they could
Yeah,
move
got
the
it.
garage, et cetera, so
so we'll call it self-created.
it's not determining, a determining factor.
I will make a motion that the benefit to the applicant does outweigh the detriment to the neighborhood or community, and therefore the variance requested is approved.
I'll second it.
Any further discussion?
Just know
All
it's
in
a-
favor of the motion,
it's a
signify by
type 2,
saying aye.
It's a type 2
I
action.
already, it's on
You
there.
got that, okay, perfect.
We are a lead agency, it's a type 2, and there's a negative declaration. So the ZBA finds that a variance of 3 feet 3 inches from the zoning schedule is that east side? That's east side setback.
No, no.
Yeah, it's on the east side.
East side setback. All right, you got motion and a second.
Second, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Unanimous, okay?
Terry, you second that, right?
Okay. I have, Robert Dickinson or Dickerson?
Dickinson, you said it closer than anyone else has ever said on the first shot, so.
All right, well, thank you. I grew up in the North Country. There was a little town called Dickinson, New York up there, so.
There it is.
Yep.
I seen it. And
Okay.
I was actually very impressed when someone was able to spell it on the first shot. And I'm like, kudos.
Okay.
Because most people spell it IN
All right.
or ER.
Okay, we are the lead agency, type 2,
Correct.
negative declaration. Undesirable change produced in the character of the neighborhood or a detriment to nearby properties. I say no, actually an improvement. An improvement to overall structure. Benefits sought by the applicant can be achieved by a feasible alternative. Yes, but it's not really desirable. Not desirable for aesthetics. Whether the requested variance is substantial, I'm gonna say no. 2 out of 15 feet is rather insignificant. No. Would the variance have an adverse impact on the physical or environmental conditions in the neighborhood? No. Actually, an improvement. Whether the alleged difficulty was self-created, I'm gonna say yes, but not a determining factor. In light of the above, I'll present this as a motion. The benefit to the applicant does outweigh the detriment to the neighborhood or community, and therefore the variance requested should be approved. That's a motion.
We have a second.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Unanimous.
Get to work.
I'm waiting for that.
Thank you for playing by the rules.
Right.
Okay.
Here, I need that.
Okay.
The motion, the board was made by Terry.
Seconded by Luke. I didn't do my last page for you, did I? I'm negligent. Oh, sorry, I mean, please.
What's today's date? The
13th.
Who's got the next one? Alright,
I can't, I wasn't here.
so we tabled the public hearing. Yep. So you can now be brought up to speed.
We're waiting for you.
You can participate, Terry, you can participate so long as you're familiarize yourself with the.
Yep, I drove out there to travel.
I'll be with you guys in minutes. I wanna make sure.
I was gonna say, wasn't there a county determination for Line 31 or no?
Yeah, and they were both,
They were both okay.
no issues.
So my son's left eye is jump. Twice he showed up Sunday nights without his contact in. I'm like, buddy, you. How do you not notice that you're blind when you do this? Like you can't see hardly anything. He goes, well, when I aim with my right eye, it doesn't matter. You're not supposed to be aiming with your right eye.
All right, last month, we tabled the decision on the Hansel property. We wanted them to stake it out, which they did, and the board members were supposed to go out and take a look at it to get a better idea of it. So we're reopening or continuing the discussion from last month. Is there anything else that we should tell Terry? I mean, there was a lot of neighbors here last month. They were a little concerned.
How
The
My takeaway was that, among other just neighbor stuff, there's neighbor stuff going on, but as far as the application goes, it was unclear just how close to the road it was gonna be.
Right.
And I think that's why we tabled it, because the biggest thing was, without it being staked, I don't think anybody on the board could picture how close it was gonna be to the road, because anytime we do these, it's unclear in real life where the edge of the property is, where the edge of the road is, so when we're talking about these setbacks, you're like, is this really gonna be
right,
a problem or is it not a problem?
Where's that 19 feet really fall?
right.
Is it big enough for a vehicle? Is it not?
And
Right,
nobody,
is a car gonna be able to park in front of the garage and,
Right.
we didn't know that the two are buildings right at the beginning of the road. I mean, they were there before codes and all, and I don't know about that one shed next to the property there, that sticks out farther a little bit there.
Yeah. That's right
the one right next to him, to
Yeah.
the east.
there.
As far as I can tell, it looked like it was gonna be in line with the other shed structures.
Yeah. I mean, my car's not 19 feet long.
What was that?
My car's not 19 feet long.
Well, they stated previously that their intention is to do the garage.
Yep.
And keep the existing pad that's
Side.
there.
On the east
So
side.
if you have something that's longer that can't fit in front of the
it can
garage,
go in the area that's
it can go to
better.
the existing pavers on the side. They stick in the road, and that's a safety issue, and law enforcement would get involved, and Bill Pindle would get involved if it happens with any regularity, but, so if they needed to, they still have the side.
Also gives them space if they're entertaining or whatever, people can park on the side, just like some of those other places. It's the same issue.
So we're looking at an 8-foot side setback on the west side.
Was there two?
No, no. 8 foot is the minimum side.
It's 8, 12. So as long as they got 12 on the other side, they're good with 8.
Okay, alright.
So
So
28,
8
12.
there. Alright.
Their variance is
I do understand there was some concern from one of the neighbors that I guess there's stones between, there's a rock wall and there's stones, and do we know exactly where the property line is?
Yes, because we had a recent survey, we just actually did another survey.
Okay,
Yeah, we just had a survey done last year,
okay,
and we just had it redone because the decks are down.
I mean, we've talked to the survey guy, and we actually said, you gotta make sure, where is the property line? When you face the house on the left, and it says it's timber line.
And actually, the rock, part of that rock wall goes over onto our side of the property line.
okay.
Okay, and there is a magnetic nail set in the road right on the corner.
Yes.
So you can get a good measurement. What do you guys have to do it?
Sorry.
Brad, he does it part-time. He does other survey for a company, but he does this part-time. Let me hold on.
So this guy, Bradley G.
Yeah.
He is silent, I assume.
What do you want me to have, Luke, start going down the questions here?
Sure. We gotta close the public hearing first. 'Cause I think we opened it up.
We
for-
closed the public hearing, and this was, I looked in the notes, we
Okay.
closed the
We'll
public
just put it
hearing.
on the table for the decision.
Right.
We postponed the decision.
Okay.
Yeah,
Go ahead. Whether undesirable change would be produce in character of neighborhood or detriment to nearby property.
Did you do the first 3 yet?
Oh.
Lead agency for
For
seeker?
we're the lead agency?
Yep.
Type 2?
Yep.
And a negative declaration.
Unless we determine that there would be a huge environmental impact, in which case we wouldn't be doing this one.
Reason for the variance is 11 feet relief off the rear foot setback requirements. Near yard, lakefront home to construct detached garage. So would be detriment to the property, nearby properties.
It's supposed to be 30, I think. So we're looking for that. What was that?
Would it be producing character of neighborhood or detriment to nearby?
no, I think there's some other sheds that come out a little farther, it's in character with the neighborhood, and there are other sheds on the road that come out farther.
That's what I saw too, at least right there on the
Yep.
corner, they're right there.
Well, even the two immediately to the east both have like glorified phone booth sized sheds that they're almost exactly in line with where this is gonna be. You must have slipped NyQuil into all of their dinners tonight or something for none of them to be out here after last month.
Yes, they said enough last time.
2, whether benefit sought by applicant can be achieved by a feasible alternative to the variance. Not really, it's there.
No,
lot
so
size
one of the
is-
things that was mentioned last month was abutting it right to the house.
Right.
And between having to take off the sun porch and having to remove the steps, it's a pretty significant cost to make those adjustments. So the roof line still wouldn't match up.
Right.
We're gonna make a mini garage that doesn't serve the purpose. Is the little shed that's there to slightly to the left when you look at the house, is that gonna come away?
Yeah, we'll
That'll
move
be
that
fine.
out of the way.
Okay.
Right now, it's there temporarily.
Right.
We've talked to Larry about that.
Okay.
We're on the cons-
Whether requested variance is substantial.
So they're asking, what's the relief on this?
11 feet of relief on a 30-foot setback.
Substantial.
Proportionally, it's substantial. It's gonna have 19 feet.
It's substantial, but again, it's in character with the neighborhood. I'd say it is substantial, but again, it's in character of the neighborhood.
With the lakefront neighborhood.
And it's not a determining factor.
Oh, a couple weeks. I actually went to the doctor yesterday. He says I got pneumonia.
Oh, Jesus.
Saw him again today, and I'll see him again tomorrow.
Would the variance have an adverse impact on the physical or environmental conditions of the neighborhood?
No,
It's still.
especially isn't most of that area is already stoned down anyways, right?
When it's already stoned down.
It's already a driveway, so there's not really going to be any more runoff. You follow me?
Right, the runoff I don't think will be an impact. It also, it's not gonna affect lake views, and it's not gonna affect anybody's sight lines for the roadway. It's not gonna make the roadway any more dangerous.
Right, this person to the east of them is just straight down that road anyway.
And they're deep. There's only one more, there's one more road to the west,
Right.
so there's not gonna be a lot of through traffic.
Whether the alleged difficulty was self-created.
It was self-created, but it's not a determining factor.
It expands.
Okay, well, that's probably what I bought this one.
Do I make this right?
Yeah, you can make it.
The recommend the benefit to the applicant does outweigh the detriment to the neighborhood and community, and therefore the variance request is approved.
Okay,
That's your motion.
so Luke made the motion. Do we have a second? Mike's just hanging out of it.
I'll second. No,
All right, that's a step ahead. All right, seconded by Luke. Any further discussion? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Unanimous. All right, go to work. Oh, I thought this was going to be a longer meeting. All right, finish.
I'll tell you, you might not want to get, as you're thinking about getting real close and trying to get more to the road like you should, the narrower that gets, if you ever have any issues where you gotta get in there and do work underneath that porch or anything that's underneath,
Yeah,
You wanna give yourself
we
space.
took the deck out, so if you're looking at an old video, the deck is.
No, I was just there the other night.
Is kind of into the house.
That's why we're the sun porch. If anything ever happens, we're gonna do anything to the substructure, the sun porch, any of that, you're not gonna have room to get anything in there.
That's, I mean, it was just an option, you know, I mean.
You got
we wanna- we work
11
with
feet.
everybody, you know.
Yep.
So anything coming up for next month?
I'm gonna ask Jerry in a minute here. All right, the minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as submitted.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, you got that, Jerry. Yeah, it's all right. Mike, move the
Are
minutes.
you kidding? You'll be watching it with popcorn later tonight. This is exciting stuff.
Luke seconded it.
For March,
Yes.
I move to accept the minutes.
And Luke seconded the
March minutes.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, okay. Got anything on the agenda for next month, Jerry?
just one thing, I don't remember what it is.
We don't get as many fences as we used to.
No, we fixed the law.
Yeah.
When the board actually acts to improve the code,
That used to be like 90% of the applications.
So that solar project, did our town scare them away?
I'd like to make a motion to close the meeting.
This is,
I'm not done.
we got an update, I was gonna give them.
I don't want to discuss any other business, personally. There's nothing else on the agenda. I'd like to make a motion that we close the meeting. Well, actually, I make a motion that we close the meeting. You don't have to.
As long as nobody seconds it, we can just.
I know.
All dimensions of the so.
Okay.
I think I know why you want a motion.
What?
I know why you want the motion. I'll second.
Thank you.
We'll drop it up.
All right, all in favor, close the meeting, signify by saying aye.